Number 5, moving right along. So we already did long division in one of the previous problems, but we're going to go ahead and revisit it now. So here we go. 4r times something will give us 4r cubed. 4r times r to the second power will give us 4r cubed, and then negative 5 times r squared is negative 5r squared. So remember, we're subtracting here. So if we subtract both of these terms, we have to change the sign. So those cancel out and we're adding straight down. Negative 9 plus 5 is negative 4r squared. Bring down the 13r. So again, we always look at the first term. So 4r times something will give us negative 4r squared. 4r times negative r will give us negative 4r squared. And then negative 5 times negative r is 5r. Again, if the goal is to subtract here, so if we imagine a minus up here and distribute it, it's going to change the signs of each of those. So those cancel out. Negative 13 minus 5r is 8r, and then we bring down this minus 5. So again, we're looking for what we have to multiply 4r by to get 8r. We have to multiply it by 2. So 4r times 2 is 8r, and negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. So again, we're subtracting, so we have to change the signs, and we get negative 5 plus 10 is 5. So that's your remainder. Now, remember back in elementary school, you would write your answer with whatever you got up here when we're dividing. That's what we're looking for, is what we end up multiplying by. And then an r, whatever the remainder was, well, we can actually write it in a little bit of a different way. So as you progressed, you learned that you can put this remainder over what you're dividing by, and that means the same thing. Okay, so we put r squared minus r plus 2 plus the remainder over 4r minus 5, or what we are dividing by. All right, so let's move on. Number 6. Number 6, we've got 8x cubed minus 27y cubed. And all we're doing here is factoring, okay? So remember, we learned some factoring forms. We learned a cubed minus b cubed. There was also a cubed plus b cubed, so the sum and difference of cubes. So a cubed minus b cubed factored to a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. So what we're doing here is a and b represent the cubic roots of each of these terms. There's no way we can do this if these two are not perfect cubes. So the cubic root of 8x cubed is 2x. So we write that as 2x cubed. The perfect cubic root of 27y cubed is 3y. And all we're doing is we're substituting these into this expression. So we get 2x minus 3y times 2x squared plus 2x times 3y. Again, a is 2x, b is 3y. So you're just literally replacing all the a's and b's in this expression with 2x and 3y. And then the last one is 3y squared. So when you go through and remove all of the innermost parentheses, you end up with 2x minus 3y times 4x squared plus 6xy plus 9y squared. And that is b. Again, I'm not going to write those on here though, so you guys already have all that information. Okay, let's keep on going. Number 7. Watch my time here. I'm at a few minutes. So let's see, number 7, we've got 2x plus y is less than or equal to negative 3. And I'm going to write the other one over here. X plus 3y is greater than 6. And the goal is to graph both of these inequalities on the same plane. To do that, we want to get it into slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. So the y by itself, basically. Okay, so we subtract 2x on this one. And we get y is less than or equal to negative 2x minus 3. That's the first equation. The second one, we're going to subtract x. We get 3y is greater than negative x plus 6, and then divide everything by 3. So we end up with y is greater than negative 1/3 x plus 2. Now, as I draw my graph, I want to remind you all that when you're dealing with inequalities, if you end up multiplying or dividing in the end by something that's negative, you always want to switch the direction of the inequality. Meaning, if you start with a less than sign and you end up dividing by a negative or multiplying by a negative, you switch it to a greater than sign, okay, and vice versa. All right, so let's graph the first one. So y is less than or equal to negative 2x minus 3. So we start with the y-intercept, which is negative 3, put a dot. The slope is -2, which is the same thing as -2/1, so we go down 2 and right 1 and put a dot. Now, in this problem, we have a less than or equal to sign, which is a solid line, so we're going to connect these with a solid line. All right, so there's that. And if we intuitively think about less than, or if it's pointing to the left and the y is on the left-hand side, less than means below, so we would shade below this line. So for now, I'm just going to draw a bunch of little arrows here because we're about to put another line on here. It gets a little crowded, if you know what I'm saying. So if we just put the little arrows pointing downward, then we're good. Okay, next, y is greater than -1/3 x plus 2. Y-intercept in this one is +2, so we go up 1, 2. And the slope is -1/3. Rise over run. So if it's -1/3, that means we go down 1 and right 3. Okay, this one does not have that equal to sign underneath, so this one is just a dashed line. Okay, so I'm going to connect these 2 points with a dashed line and be thinking about, we've got greater than in this scenario, so greater than means above or higher than. Okay, so above, intuitively, again, greater is higher or above. So again, drawing the arrows. So you're looking for the section where all of the arrows point to each other. So if you look in here, there are no arrows in here, so that doesn't work. This one has one set of arrows, but it's missing this. This is the section where all of the arrows face one another, so that is the correct section to shade. Now, there are all these different ways of going through and checking by plugging in a point in different regions and so on and so forth. I prefer using logic in this case, but if you would like to go back and plug in a point to verify that you're right, so you'd pick a point in that shaded region, plug it in, and make sure that it works in the expression that you have. Okay, go ahead and switch on over to the next video.